This is exactly what's happening at bars and clubs because men are no longer falling for it. They are no longer just throwing their money out at women that do not take them seriously. They are no longer willing to waste their time, effort, and resources. But because of this, women are out here trying to give men a bad rap. Like they're saying, what's wrong with men these days? They used to go to war. Now they just want to be treated like a woman at a bar. But that is just not the case because men will absolutely put in just as much effort as they always have into pursuing you. But it takes one thing, and that one thing is that he has to know that you are taking him seriously. Because one of the number one resources to a man is his time, and he doesn't want you to waste it. And even if it's a short-term thing, like he just doesn't want to leave that relationship and have a messed up head and a messed up heart. Because that man just wants a future with somebody that he can really fall in love with and grow old with. Which is why he already knows with like 95% certainty that him paying for your drink at the bar is not going to bring him closer to that.
Something wild is happening. Women are realizing that time doesn't care about your soft girl era. Aging pulled up like, hey queen, just checking in. How's that metabolism holding up? And suddenly all that I don't need a man energy turned into weight. Where did the men go? Buckle up. This is going to sting more than your first wrinkle.
A brutal truth about being a single woman in your 30s is that it's difficult on many days because there are so many different questions about the idea and the concept of marriage looming perpetually. And it's really interesting that I find that not a lot of men in their 30s who are single get asked as many questions as women. And you know, there are so many questions about the biological clock. There are so many questions about finding the right partner. If at all will you find the right partner? I think it can be pretty daunting. And I think that if that pressure was lifted, it would just actually happen. We're operating in a society where it's mandatory to be married by a certain age, have children by a certain age. And I think that's what makes it difficult.
If anyone's wondering why we don't date, this is why. We're literally in the middle of the road changing a tire because her tire went flat immediately after the date. Me, I'm just here for moral support and because I lived around the corner, but... Oh, and you're wondering where the date is, you may ask? He's at home. And you know what he had the audacity to say? Is it bad to ask if you want to come over when you're done changing your tire? These are the men. These are the men that are out there, okay?
No, I'm in the middle of fucking nowhere. These fucking guys keep driving by me as if I don't need fucking help. All the lug nuts loose and I can't figure out where to put the jack.
We'll figure it out.
Every girl boss becomes a damsel in distress when she meets a situation she can't girl boss her way through. Yeah, it's 2025, ma'am. Everyone's equal now. You're strong and independent, right? You can do everything a man can, so enjoy the equality. Or go ahead and call the bear yourself. My bad.
Circulating to this young lady talking about middle-aged women and we mad, mean, miserable, and lonely, right? And that we missed our opportunity to have a good man. And that's why we out here, we just lonely. First of all, let me just clear something up, right? Majority of us middle-aged women, because I consider myself a middle-aged woman. I'm 46 years old. A lot of us are single by choice. Not because we missed our opportunity, but just for the simple fact that the caliber of men that's out here now, to me, in my opinion, are not even worth dating or having a relationship with. And the fact that a lot of you young girls, because a lot of y'all are 20 years younger than me, but you look like you're my age. And that's because you living hard. You know, you doing the age that you are now versus the age we were back then. You all are doing way more for way less with these men. Y'all are out here wouldn't have men if you wasn't spending money. It's just like...
For years, the world told women that age was just a number, like a fun math problem nobody needed to solve. But suddenly, that number started showing up everywhere. On their face, on their knees, and definitely in their dating life. Mother Nature said, aging gracefully. Women heard, aging, delete.
I am married to the most nonchalant man ever. And by that, I mean, do you know what my husband found today that I didn't even know he had? He goes, oh, I thought I lost those. He has 2 purple hearts. In the 3 years we've been together, he's never told me. He's like, yeah, I just thought I had lost them.
This is not because you're married to a nonchalant man. This is because you're married to a good man that has probably a lot of feelings surrounding that day. It was probably one of the worst days of his life. Sadly, for a lot of good men, those medals can just represent and be reminders for the day that he lost his buddies. But I understand why she misinterpreted this as just being nonchalant, because women don't realize that men that have been through these things, like, they might act calm, cool, and collected, but that doesn't mean that it's not having a huge impact on his mental health. Because of that, he needs to have coping strategies. Putting these medals aside and never speaking of them, that's a coping mechanism. So ladies, if that is you and this is your man, just be cautious. Don't open Pandora's box.
It gets more disrespected than if it was actually just a man of a higher status with a woman of a lower status. I feel like that's more unusual. I feel like a lot of people...
Yeah, like trophy.
Yeah. Like the trophy wife trope is seen as super common, but you don't really see the other way. I feel like it's kind of stigmatized.
I think it's going to be a new thing. I think it's going to be really common. Older women over the age of 35 dating 20-something-year-old men. Yes.
You think it's stigmatized for a woman to be with a man who's
like if
earning less than her, or
if you even go on like the internet and you just see like these really famous influencers with their husbands who just are in the background, it's like constantly in the comments. It's like, why is she with him? What is she doing? Like he's like just doing this and that.
They spent their 20s rejecting nice guys because there's always better. Now, in their 30s, that better is married with kids and a mortgage. The only guys in their DMs are divorcees and gamers who think deodorant is optional. Suddenly, Chad disappeared, but Steve from IT stays texting, hey.
If men like women, why do they glorify protecting women but resist treating them as equals?
I think, again, ego and having that upper hand.
Yeah, I think you gotta ask a man that.
How can men view women as equals if they're expected to protect them? Isn't that a contradiction?
Not necessarily.
I kind of think it is, but...
Can you explain?
Because if they're expected to protect women, like, that automatically puts them above, like, puts them in the stronger position, maybe.
Protecting somebody isn't a form of equality. A woman can protect her man in a different way as well, but men see it as, like, an ego thing where they need to always be aware for the woman. But I don't think that has to do anything with equality, protecting somebody.
They told men to man up, try harder, and earn more. Meanwhile, they were relying on youth and cheekbones only. Now reality hits. Men's value grows, careers, status, while theirs requires Botox, serums, affirmations, and prayers. Glow-up era turned into maintenance mode, expert difficulty.
When girls claim they don't want guys to approach them ever, this stems from a pattern formed over years and years of approaches gone bad. Because honestly, so few guys know how to do it correctly.
This is a special message for those of you who are not married yet. If you find a man who is not helping you, like pick up the dishes or clear the table, you can never expect him to help you after marriage. You will also not see him help you, even when you have children.
I've been going to the block parties, all of that good stuff. The day parties has been a time. But the problem is the men just stare at you. They just stare at you the whole time. They don't approach you.
What happens when that, you guys don't approach women anymore? I don't understand it.
I hope that I never see you again at all.
I am tired. Of the men.
The attention economy is crashing, and investors, men, are pulling out quicker than commitment itself. That VIP treatment they used to get, gone. Now, they're waiting in line like the rest of us peasants. Even the bouncers are like, ma'am, ladies' night was yesterday.
If you are single and you are in the dating marketplace at that time, when that happens, say you're 37, 36, 38, 40, whatever it may be, and you are still on the hunt for that man, and you hit the wall and you can see in your face that you are no longer the face that you were at whether it was 30 or 35 or 25, whatever it is, you are going to be panicked. Because now you know that you are going to compete with women who are younger, who are largely more fertile, not always, but largely speaking, yes, who have that youthfulness to them, who have that estrogen, progesterone, whatever the hormonal balance is that makes someone young, it's there and you're losing it. And you become hyper aware of that. And that is why women begin to panic.
One thing I hate about myself is that I will get obsessed with a guy who does not like me. And this guy does not like me. And realistically, like, if I'm being honest with myself, I don't like him that much. Like, he hardly gives me conversation. And when we talk, it's really so surface level. But now he's all I think about. And it's really annoying because I could never see us together. That would just never work. So I hate it here.
The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. If you are not getting the results that you want from life, change your strategy. It's incredibly simple, but almost no one does it because change is difficult, but change is necessary.
They once laughed at men who talked about the wall, but now they're Googling anti-aging hacks at 2 a.m. while pretending they're still in their prime. You can use a filter on TikTok, but the DMV camera sees everything.
I just wanted to tell you I put myself back on a dating app.
You just might get lucky and run into a nice man. That's all I'm saying.
And I've gathered all of this love since I was in high school.
Welcome to the channel, friends. Today, let's take a closer look at why women continue to divorce their husbands only to bitterly regret it afterward. And what's the value of an older woman on dating apps? But first, I'm counting on your support with a like and subscription.
Men across the board judge women with tattoos. Men across the board judge. You know, if we're gonna say a balance of probability, like there's exceptions, but if we're gonna talk about across the board, the men you want. Like I'm from a pretty well-off community, and like most of my brothers make six figures. Most people in our circles make six figures, and I can tell you that they absolutely judge you if you have tattoos. They absolutely judge you if you have piercings. And I didn't always like this. When I was younger, I was like, Mom, you're so judgmental. Why? Like, I was so mad that she wouldn't let me, like, do this stuff. And then the older I get, the more I see that she's right. And I just, I really, if I can encourage you in a different direction, that's probably what I'm going to do.
It's not the be all and end all, though. Yeah. Not at all. I think you could actually end up making it something that works for you. A classy woman with tattoo does stir some intrigue.
And the funniest part, instead of accepting it, many are blaming society, patriarchy, astrology, literally anything except biology. Mercury isn't in retrograde. Your metabolism is.
What do you bring to the table?
I'm not going to answer this question. This is just something that I wouldn't answer in a date. I'm not going to answer here.
Fine.
I'm not going to answer how many books I've read.
Okay, what do you expect men to bring to the table?
Integrity, clarity, consistency, strong connection to divinity, not necessarily religion, but some kind of purpose-based lifestyle, emotional availability, emotional maturity.
So what is the female
intelligence.
equivalent of that?
The same.
Then why wouldn't you just say that at the table when he asks you?
Women get older in age, masculine hormones and energies increase and become more prevalent, and feminine energies decrease. Older women get more set in their ways, especially when they have lived most of their life single, unhappy, highly successful, providing for themselves. And unfortunately, especially here in the Western culture, a lot of older women, like as they get older, they carry a lot more bitterness towards men, and they've had a lot of broken and very wounded experiences in their relationships.
If you're tired of the Delusion Olympics, drop a comment. Reality fairy tales. Hit like, share this with someone who still thinks 35 is the new 21, and subscribe for more truth with a side of comedy.
It's really interesting to note that, especially within the States, but just in general, the research actually has depicted that women in their 40s is the most unhappiest age group out there. Think about that. The unhappiest age group in all of the world, predominantly, we're talking about the States right now, is women in their 40s. That's 1 in 4 Americans, which is crazy. That's 25% of the population are women in their 40s. And they're the unhappiest group out there. And it's just absolutely scary and it's appalling. And you have to ask yourself, why is that? And at the end of the day, the number one reason why, well, there could be many reasons why actually, but one of them, as I mentioned beforehand, is it's really all about e-commerce. It's about the pharmaceutical industries. It's about really just making money. It's a multi-million-dollar business for the most part.